Welcome back to the Cybermen, guys. Today we're going to go over the top 4 decks from the Brisbane large store regionals at Bris Vegas Comics. Awesome store. I've been there. It's really cool. So get down and have a look at Bris Vegas Comics. They have some awesome stuff, DBS and otherwise as well. Some really cool old comic books and stuff like that. Link to their Facebook in the description. I'm going to go over them now. I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And let me know what you want to see in terms of future videos. It is now week 2 of lockdown in Sydney and I am going a bit crazy. So it's really hard not playing any cards or anything else, kind of just staying inside. But we'll keep going and see if I can keep wrangling this content. Thanks so much to Brad for sorting this out for me. Cheers. Alrighty, so this is the first place deck. Brad Nyberg himself, he's the one who helped me out with these deck lists. He took out first place. Really cool King Vegeta list. I know there's a lot of these going around. There's heaps of different ways you can play this, red, green, and the like. I'm sure that that Vegeta Saiyan Army will have some thoughts on this deck. I'll post that here for you guys. Respect to Vegeta Saiyan Army. I love that group. Frank is a good mod there. So this is more of kind of a standard build of King Vegeta's the King Vegeta deck. So you obviously got the leader. I'm not going to go through what the deck does per se. It's obviously around Young Invaders, the field card, which allows you to play these 1-cost Saiyans, these two here, on your opponent's side, and they deal damage in the way of burn, and also Vegeta here stuffs your opponent up when you attack. So it's really hard to get rid of them as well because they're 1-cost combos. It just sets your opponent back a lot by forcing them to use energy to get rid of them. And being able to burn your opponent turn 1 is very cool, especially if you're playing against things like King Piccolo that starts at 6 life. So this is able to bring them down to 5 life on turn 1. Very strong. He plays a bit of the Bardock, Chain Attack Bardock. When you play this, if you have 3 red Saiyans in play, he gains critical, and he's also lets you neg an opponent's battle card when on attack. He's 15k, obviously, with Bond 3 as well. You got the Vegeta as a finisher. This is the one that can be taken using Heroine's Lineage that we spoke about earlier in another video and burn you. But it's just a lot of really good red cards. You got the nice new counter attack that stops your opponent from attacking unless they neg 5k to a card. Interesting, which I'll speak about in a ruling video one day. The combination of Violent Rays and King Vegeta's impending presence. Violent Rays stops your opponent from attacking with battle cards of 20k or more, assuming you choose that of the two. And this one, when your opponent attacks, their battle card gets negged by 5. I've been asked the question of, if you attack with a 20k, neg it by 5, does it get around Violent Rays? No, the answer is no, because you can't attack with the card to get this -5 initially. So very interesting ruling there. Side deck of Dabura. I love this card. This is such a great card against hand destruction. It's kind of a fuck you to hand destruction. As long as you have 1 energy open, when your opponent makes you drop a card, if it's this card, you drop from your hand, you can tap 1 energy, play it, so you're getting negating that neg 1 because you're getting a battle card, and then also when you play him you draw 2. So 1 energy to draw 2 and get a 15k is so hilarious, especially against hand destruction. Running the classic Broly Crown of Retribution to stop those counterplays, and Clash of the Masked Warriors, which is really good to deal with unisons that gain double strike and things like that, like the Vegex Gotenks unison. It also works against things like this Jiren that he runs in here, which is a really great unison as well. It's just an all-round good deck, as you can see. It's nice to see red getting some love. I know out of the top 4 decks, 3 of them are red, which is pretty crazy. 3 or 4? I'm pretty sure it's 3 red decks. It's actually 4 red decks, I apologize, in the top 4, which is crazy. Let's get to number 2. Number 2 is Bulma. So this is a classic Bulma Earthlings. More recently we've been seeing this pop up. Bulma was kind of all about Gogeta before this SCR and the Shenron came out. I mean, you have the unison, the Vegeta unison, which is good with this Shenron. But this is a really cool, very back to basics. As with the other deck, it kind of knows what it wants to do, and it does it well. Brandon Kyle got second with this. It's got Bunny Girl Bulma, which is a great card. When one of your Earthlings is removed, you can play it, and then it plays an Earthling from the drop. 4 Toppos, still a great card, being able to stop your opponent's turn. And then what you're doing with this deck is getting the Ultimate Shenron out, which allows you to play things like your Yamcha, like your Yamcha the Lawless, Everybody's Pal, for free, and then tapping 3 to be able to play this Gohanks SCR, which is just the real finisher in this deck. Absolutely destroys your opponent. It's an ultimate dual attack blocker. I'm sure you've all seen it, but let's go through it. When this card is played, choose all of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and they get minus 25k power for the turn. So that is just insane. It's pretty much a board wipe most of the time. It's got a +1. When your opponent attacks with a battle card, you may choose it, and it gets minus 25,000 power for the turn. So that's obviously once per turn because it is a unison skill. And then you've got a -4, which is an activate main. This card gets 15,000 power and triple strike for the turn, and at the end of the turn, switch it to active mode. So you're able to get that block, dual attack, triple strike, insane power. And you're getting this out for 3. So you're just going to be stopping your opponent. Obviously, this deck is all about blocking, because all of these cards, when they come out, they're blockers, except the Topo. Then you got classic Dark Power Black Marseille, just to stop all the free play that we're seeing with King Piccolo and stuff. And I'm interested to see this Pilaf. It's probably in a lot of decks, but it's a cool being able to search for your unison, because it searches for a unison with a specified cost of 4, so you're able to search for your SCR, which is pretty crazy, and then obviously search for an Earthling. Actually really, really good in this deck. Then it's a blocker as well. Side deck, you got Max Power Kamehameha. Removal is very important in this meta, and then extra negates can't hurt. Dabura as well. Obviously they're seeing a lot of hand destruction at this in this meta. I haven't really seen that much hand destruction, but this card is just so good, so I would also run it, because just being able to bring that out destroys the hand destruction of their turn. Koitukai, Broly, Fu Shrouded, especially in a deck where you're able to block so many attacks, this is really good. And then the Bardock, classic Bardock Champ Pack that removes battle cards with energy cost of 6 or more, destroys things like Dark Broly and other decks that run high cost cards. Next up, we are going to look at Lee's third place, another King Vegeta. So King Vegeta really doing well in this meta. We'll have a look and see if it's any different. You can see a couple of glaringly obvious differences with the other deck. You've got things like Super Saiyan 4 Nappa, Saiyan Might, which is very, very interesting to see, especially with the black cards in here, because this guy's effect, or this guy can't be played if you have a black card in your energy battle area or drop. So you really, he's only got 1 in there. It's just to kind of take his opponent by surprise, I think. If he hasn't seen any of these cards, or they're in his hand, he's able to play this and take 1 life. I personally am not sure about the choice of this. It obviously worked for him being able to come 3rd. This is Lee Hume, by the way. But just because you do have these black cards, which is 5 of in the main deck, and then you've got a few more in the side deck, I just don't think that this is that smart. But I guess he's running only 1. It's kind of just a trick that you can play if you haven't seen your black cards at the end and kill your opponent pretty easily. So it kind of makes sense. I don't know, I'm kind of iffy about it. Let me know what you think in the comments. He's obviously focusing on getting lots of battle cards out here, which is a bit different to the other one. He's got the Unison, he's got a lot of Unisons in this deck, running Sin Shenron, which is really strong, the Piccolo Jr., which is one of the best Unisons out at the moment. Wouldn't be surprised if this gets touched with the ban list, or eraded or something. And Gohanks, obviously, the SCR. The other King Vegeta ran Space-Time, Space-Time Unraveler, Supreme Kai of Time, aka Boobies, as the SCR, but we're seeing a change here with Super Saiyan 3 Gohanks. Side decks pretty standard with kind of the red staples, more Unisons. This is obviously a very Unison heavy deck, and it makes sense because Unisons in this meta are so strong. And then you've got the Bardock just as a finisher, Mecha Kabura to stop things like Dark Broly, and then the classic Furthering Destruction Champa as an extra. pretty cool deck. Very kind of out of the box. I can't say I've looked at King Vegeta too much, but this Super Saiyan 3 Nappa takes me by surprise, and I like that. I like people that run some spice, which is cool, if you can call it that. And finally, Greg came fourth with King Piccolo. Not much we need to say about this deck. It has been winning shit all over the place. I just saw that there's a 0 on this, which is strange. I feel like this is not supposed to be here. It's probably this one. He runs the 6-drop, which not many people do. They kind of just lean into the free plays, which he obviously has 4 of all of those. King Scion being a crazy negate. Unison goes without saying. Runs the Vegeta Unison at 1. This just shuts down so many decks, especially things like Blue Baby, which can be a big problem for this deck if you don't have it. I'm not going to go too much into this one, as I said, just because everybody's seen a million King Piccolo deck profiles. It's all pretty standard. Side deck, same thing. It's all pretty standard. Having another Vegito in there, having the Dabura. There's definitely hand destruction coming around here. I'm trying to rack my brain for what is the current hand destruction deck that's really hurting people, and I can't really think about it. I can't really think of one, to be honest with you, but I may be missing something. Put that in the comments if you know what it is. And that's all the decks, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll put all the deck profiles in the description, and I'll also put the Brisbane Vegas comics link in the description as well. Check them out. Really, really cool store, and I want to thank Brad for getting me these lists and giving me something to make a video about while I'm stuck in lockdown. He's such a great guy, so thank you, Brad, and enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Cheers.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting, guys. If you want to help support further, jump in the link in the description below to palmsoffgaming.com.au. Look for your grading needs, for your folders, for your binders, and put the code Cybermen in the checkout. It helps me out. It helps you out. You'll get 10% off. Really, really awesome. Thanks for watching again, guys, and enjoy.